Hello, and welcome to Bemer. Today, we'd like to dig a little deeper into Bemer technology. By the end of this session, you will understand why and how Bemer is for you, for life, for energy. And now the obligatory disclaimer. Bemer products are in no way a substitute for professional medical care. There are no medical claims being made from the use of these products. Statements made have not been evaluated by the FDA or other government agencies and are not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure any medical conditions or diseases. It's recommended that you consult with your own physician or healthcare provider if you have any medical conditions. Bemer products are wellness and fitness systems. All information is for educational purposes only. Bemer is the most effective and widely researched PEMF device available. When we look at one of these sequences of the microvessel in the intestinal area taken by Dr. Rainier Klopp from the Institute of Microcirculation in Berlin, this is regular, spontaneous vasomotion, so this is normal. This is not with use of Bemer or any other pulse electromagnetic field device. And you can see here that the blood is flowing functionally. But what I want you to spend really a lot of attention on is to look at the changes in variable of the flow pattern as well as the diameter. And you can see a pattern starting, and you're going to almost see this vibrating in 3, 2, 1. You literally see this start to vibrate, oscillating, even to the point where the blood is in a backflow, going to the opposite direction than it was. This is the body's unique way of shunting and moving blood where it needs to go based on metabolic needs. It's important to know that Bemer doesn't just affect what's in the vessel, but it affects what's in the vessel simultaneously with the vessel itself. So the white blood cells, the red blood cells, the components of the blood are affected, as well as these areas of the endothelial wall. Remember it from this perspective: our circulatory system, supply, and disposal. You have oxygen and nutrients coming in, carbon dioxide and waste products being removed. If you cannot bring in nutrients and clear out waste products, again, this is a recipe for disease. It makes perfect sense to me to identify these issues and address them rather than waiting until symptoms develop. This is a general blood flow video that I want you to look at. This was also taken with intravital microscopy. This is looking at poor blood flow or dysfunctional blood flow. You can see on the left side there, those are red blood cells barely pumping through. You can see on the right side, every once in a while, a white blood cell will slowly roll by versus functional blood cell flow, as you can see here. Look at the blood flowing on the left and also flowing on the right, with those white blood cells rolling over the endothelial wall. And they do this because Bemer also supports ICAM1, or intercellular adhesion molecule 1, which is involved with the mobility of white blood cells. So again, poor or limited circulation versus good or significantly improved circulation. Simply put, Bemer is the most researched PEMF system on the market today. And while Bemer does use a PEMF as a carrier wave for delivering its patented waveform or signal, the field itself is not the sole substance that elicits the complex physiological effects. In fact, Bemer chose to use a PEMF because of its deep penetrance and overall safety. Bemer is a bright technology, an ingenious solution to a systemic problem. Yes, there's a known problem with circulation in the body. The leading cause of death in the United States or any developed country is cardiovascular disease. What if we could identify at an early stage dysfunction rather than waiting for someone to have a heart attack? Not to say Bemer is a primary prevention in that way, but it certainly helps to lend a helping hand to the heart. Bemer didn't just pop out of nowhere. You may have heard of an organization called NASA. They've been researching ways to maintain healthy physiology for their astronauts who have gone to space and returned with many ill effects. Some of these ill effects can take weeks, months, or years, or in some cases, never recover. For example, NASA's been especially interested in using PEMF, pulse electromagnetic fields, as countermeasures for bone loss and muscle atrophy. Bemer has been working with NASA under a Space Act agreement since February of 2015. As a part of this research and development project, NASA has chosen Bemer as a cooperation partner for the development of undergarments of spacesuits with coils to support countermeasures for muscle atrophy and bone degeneration. And it's this joint venture that's paving the way for the integration of Bemer technology into human spaceflight, as well as exit preparation and re-entry regeneration. But it's not just any PEMF device or any waveform that works to elicit desired physiological effects, such as those sought by NASA scientists. There's important parameters that involve the wave shape or waveform used, the intensity or the flux density of the field, and the frequency. Bemer's patented waveform is the most researched and scientifically studied PEMF application available today. Again, all PEMF devices are not created equal. First and foremost, because of the type of signal or waveform that is used. It matters. It's important. It's this spectrum of frequencies and timely variations of the electromagnetic field that interact with our cells to give rise to the desired physiological effects. This Bemer signal that you see was created in 1998, and its application has been evolving ever since. The Bemer signal is a multidimensional, complex, sinusoidal waveform. And when delivered in a proprietary manner of frequencies and timely variations, this signal triggers the activation of vasomotion, which then enhances circulation systemically as well as microscopically, as well as increasing energy production or ATP. What you see here is an example of different wave patterns which have been utilized by traditional PEMF devices. You have the sinusoidal, the trapezoid, triangle or sawtooth wave, and these are all traditional PEMF therapy devices. Their pulses only reach a certain segment of cell frequencies. Look to the right and notice the broad range of the Bemer waveform or the wave pattern. This patented waveform desired physiological effects. This Bemer signal that you see was created in 1998, and its application has been evolving ever since. The Bemer signal is a multidimensional, complex, sinusoidal waveform. And when delivered in a proprietary manner of frequencies and timely variations, this signal triggers the activation of vasomotion, which then enhances circulation systemically as well as microscopically, as well as increasing energy production or ATP. What you see here is an example of different wave patterns which have been utilized by traditional PEMF devices. You have the sinusoidal, the trapezoid, physiological effects. This Bemer signal that you see was created in 1998, and its application has been evolving ever since. The Bemer signal is a multidimensional, complex, sinusoidal waveform. And when delivered in a proprietary manner of frequencies and timely variations, this signal triggers the activation of vasomotion, which then enhances circulation systemically as well as microscopically, as well as increasing energy production or ATP. What you see here is an example of different wave patterns which have been utilized by traditional PEMF devices. You have the sinusoidal, the trapezoid, triangle or sawtooth wave, and these are all traditional PEMF therapy devices. Their pulses only reach a certain segment of cell frequencies. Look to the right and notice the broad range of the Bemer waveform or the wave pattern. This patented waveform reaches millions of cells within the body and has a systemic effect even where the field is not actively interfacing with those tissues. This study is looking at a comparison of various PEMF systems. Various devices were taken, 5 different devices here, and they were studied over a short period here of a few days, activating and using the PEMF devices on the subjects. You can see Bemer, which is the control in orange, outperform from day 1. And I mean drastically outperform. We're looking at changes in oxygenation or perfusion of vessels. This study is looking specifically at microcirculation. Interestingly enough, even after the 3rd day, when the devices were turned off and subjects were not using the Bemer nor other devices, as you can see, the figures indicate the effectiveness dropped down to 0 functionality. Bemer at its lowest, where it wasn't even being used or turned on, was still higher than the maximum of the best device, which you can see there, test device 4, for example. What does this tell you? This tells you that this device works and works well, and there are no comparisons. In addition to the signal and the waveform, the Bemer has a unique electromagnetic field distribution, and this enables the device to affect multiple cellular processes simultaneously. While Bemer does exhibit multiple effects, the Bemer PEMF has a profound effect on the hemodynamics, or how the blood flows.
Hi, I want to thank you for watching this video. If you did like it, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. Once again, thank you for watching the video.